Okay, so good evening, everyone. It is 7 p.m. My name is Michael Cortez. I am your new Outreach Committee Chair. So glad to be here with all of you. Thank you, Stacy, for attending, and for Gary as well. And our Outreach Committee is made up of Linda Sherling, Linda Galvani, and Danica Middleton. But we're always open and welcome to more members of this committee to do outreach. But I just want to begin by thanking Linda and the rest of the outreach committee for all your hard work over the last years and doing this. And I hope to live up to your the foundation that you've laid for outreach in your community. So I'll try to do my
Thank
best.
thank you, but I believe you'll surpass.
No. So thank you. So before we begin, I want to just share the agendas, just kind of go over the, if you want to provide. So today's Lake Balboa Outreach Committee, for those of you who are joining us, I think we just have Stacy, but just want to read over. In conformity with the September 6, 2020 enactment of California Assembly Bill 3, Section 1, and due to concerns over the COVID-19, the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council meeting will be conducted entirely with a call-in option or internet-based service option that we're on today. If I don't see anyone on the phone, but if they were to provide any comments, you would dial 9 and prompted by the presiding officer to address the board on any agenda item. Before the board takes any action on an item, to star number 6 to unmute yourself. On the webinar, I think Stacy knows how to use it very well, just to raise your hand, and when prompted by the presiding officer, myself, to address the board on any agenda item before the board takes action on the item. The chat function has been disconnected, so please raise your hand, and everyone is muted until recognized. This agenda is posted at Rouse Market at 17250 Satakoy Street and is covered entirely under Title II of the American with Disability Act of the City of LA. And to ensure availability of services, please make your requests at least 3 business days, 72 hours prior to the meeting if you wish to attend by contacting 213-978-1551 or email ncsupport@lacity.org if you need additional assistance and want to participate in today's meeting. So with that said, did I miss anything, Linda, in the opening?
Nope.
Oh, great. So the first item on the agenda we began is a welcome. Item number 2, introductions and update regarding the outreach committee. I kind of stated in the beginning, I am the new outreach committee chair that was appointed at the last general board meeting. And with graciously, Linda Sherling and Linda Galvani and Danica, I think have decided to continue to be on the committee, so I greatly appreciate it and open to anyone who's interested in participating as well too, and helping us outreach to our fellow stakeholders in Lake Balboa. Does the committee want to say anything in the opening for the introductions and update regarding the outreach committee? For item number 2?
No, I'm sorry. I was texting Danica, who is attending momentarily, and I just sent a message to Ruth also. And we have a couple people that are stakeholders that are attending.
And we appreciate it. Thank you, S and Alina. Thank you. And Linda, you have your hand raised.
Say the question again. I got sidetracked real quick.
Item number 2 was introductions and update regarding outreach committee. Is there anything that you have regarding outreach. Item number 2?
Only that I am very pleased to be here and that you are our new outreach chair, and I look forward to successful endeavors within the new year. Thanks.
Thanks, Linda. Appreciate it. All right, moving along to item number 3 is report on LBNC participation and sponsorship of One Generation Senior Symposium held on May 14th. This was an item that the council sponsored, and I have Linda here who was provide a report on it as well. Linda, do you want to give an update on it? How
Which
did it go?
Linda?
Oh, Linda
You.
Sherling, sorry.
Ah, okay. I will tell you that the 13th Senior Symposium that was held a couple weekends ago was on the soccer field at One Generation on Victory Boulevard. Uh, we had a number of our board members attending, which was very challenging considering that there were 3 events going on the same day. It was absolutely a totally successful event. There were over 500 people attending, seniors that were taking advantage of the free event, tips and information from vendors, entertainment, free COVID tests, and of course, Lake Balboa was there, which included, and Michael may correct me, Michael, Jeremy Pisanik, myself, Miguel, and also James Brown. Am I right? We were all there.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
yes, and it really was a successful outreach event for us. We were not the only councils there, but we were very well received, and so was the whole event. And hopefully, they will be doing it at the same location next year.
Yeah, just to add, Linda. Oh, I think can you hear me? Okay. It was an amazing event. It was my first event to participate in, and I had a great time in meeting some fellow members in the community, signing people up, some seniors up to receive updates on the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council. So I think we got almost like 20, a little bit less than 20 new signups. So it was just overall a great event. And people loved our fans because it was such a hot day. It was a huge, success. All right, well, thank you, Linda, for the update. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
Moving on to item number 4, report on the Neighbor Council's participation and sponsorship of Task 5K Walk held on June 11th.
Okay, that would be me. It was, well, I can't say it was a success in the getting of names because where we were was not at the start of the 5K walk. We were in an area kind of like in a horseshoe. And they had people starting with, a balloon scape, where they would walk through the balloons and start the 5K walking. It was very interesting in that we met the president of the board on task. He was very appreciative of us sponsoring the event. And they had some very good ideas on outreach things for kids. They had baseball caps in various different colors, and then they had the puff paint where you could put your name, or you could put your school, or you could put a saying, or you could do a drawing, and then you would take it home. So I thought that was really quite clever. They also had bags with like Sharpies, but not really Sharpies. And then they had different sayings that were cut out on plastic board, and then you would just rub your marker, and then you would have a bag that would have a nice saying, or it would have Lake Balboa or whatever whatever. Hi, Danica. Okay, we'll show that at 7:09 Danica joined us. Thank you. So in that regard, it was good to meet other people that were there for tasks specifically. I think in the future, if we do that, that we actually not be there at the very start, that we be there towards the end, because I think they finished at 11 or maybe 11:30 was the end of the 5K, and then they had stuff for kids to do. And that would have been the time to interact with the people as opposed to being there earlier in the day. But it was still a good event. And very honestly, we had 3 events in one day. So there was no way for us to really stay later. It was good. They did also, I want to tell everyone, have a difficult time with Rec and Park. That Rec and Park was not easy to work with at Lake Balboa. Last year, we tried to use Lake Balboa for Linda Pruitt's Memorial Emergency Preparedness Day, and they told us that we had the day, and then we were told really close in that we didn't have it because they never do anything at Lake Balboa. Well, task was there, so apparently they do something, but I guess they don't want us there. That's all I can say. But it was good. And just so you know, when you do these events, you get to learn a lot about the other board members. I had T-shirts for the people that we brought. Danica helped with her mom, Lydia, and Miguel was there. And I folded some T-shirts, and there was Miguel, who used to work in retail, and you certainly could see which shirts I did and which shirts Miguel did. Just saying, you learn a lot about your board members.
I love it. I love it. Any comments on the report that Linda Galvani? Well, thanks, Linda. I did hear it was a good event, so really excited.
Yeah, we didn't get names because people didn't stop on by. Like I said, the timing, I believe, was not right.
Yeah.
It would have been better, like I say, at the end of the race when people are tired and want to sit down and maybe chat with you for a minute.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So good to know for future. And we're going to change that with Rec and Parks. Hopefully we
Yes.
have a good relationship. All right. Thanks. Thanks for the update. Moving on to item number 5, a report on the Neighbor Council's participation and sponsorship of Friends of LA River Full Cleanup held on June 11th. And I have Ruth here to provide us an update on that event. Ruth?
Yes, hello. Sorry I was late. I was trying to join the land use committee meeting instead of this meeting. Had the wrong agenda up. So yes, the task was going on at the same time, and the FOLAR people didn't know it, and it caused confusion for parking. The task was, upset that we were going to have their parking, so we moved some of our cars, but I don't think it ended up to be too big of a problem. But also that we had their porta potty, and they got our porta potty, and so Zoe Witt, the person in charge, she was dealing with it well, but she was, and I had to apologize because I hadn't told her that I knew the task event was going on. I didn't know exactly where it was that it was starting just over across the road from the cleanup, but yeah, so she was kind of dismayed that the Parks Department would schedule 2 things like that so close in the park on the same day. So yes. So we had 52 volunteers, 100 had signed up, 52 showed up. And
wow.
so she called it a small cleanup, but we had a 40-yard dumpster. We filled it out about half full. She estimated there were 208 bags of trash. There were 7 shopping carts, and I helped remove one of those. A lot of big things. There was a Lime bike, there was an old boom box, there was a stroller and an office chair, and all kinds of things like that. I handed out about 25 bandanas and trifolds. Most of the people aren't from the area, so, but some were. And also I had Danica came over and gave me the movie poster or movie postcards. So I had those, and a lot of people were interested in the movie. And I have a folder with some pictures that I don't know if we can put it on our what do you call it, Facebook page, but I can show them now. I was thinking that the website had pictures, but I guess I'm thinking of the Facebook page. So this is the whole group that was there about, this is about 9:15, after everyone's had the safety talk, and everyone has the buttons, the stickers on to show they've been checked in, and they provided gloves and bags, and they had water to fill up people's water bottles with. And Pat Bates from Encino Neighborhood Council brought 12 these easy pickers, I guess you could call them, for the grabbers. She had 12 grabbers. Those were very popular. So I want to say we might want to invest. I think I'm not sure how much they are, but let's see. There's a couple of people with a bike tire. I don't know what that thing is, but a friend and I did. There's a family, a mom and her daughter, tie-dye, another family. There were maybe, I don't know, if a dozen kids. There's the office chair and the empty dumpster. Oh, there's a nice big, whatever you call those things. Can't remember what you call that. Big piece of plywood. And there's 3 tables there. I got to set up at the first table. The people right next to the river, or I mean, sorry, the creek, Bull Creek. It's Jonah Glickman and Pat Bates. The cart on a bunch of stuff. If anybody wants me to take more time on it, just let me know. There's a guy wearing the Lake Balboa bandana.
Yay!
And a Lime bike and a shopping cart. There's Jonah with the boom box. In the center, this is Zoe Witt, the one who's in charge. This is her significant other, Cheyenne. There's Jonah Glickman and Pat Bates from Encino Neighborhood Council. And everybody doesn't know Jonah's from Nuri Martinez's office. There's me. And these 3 people are like super volunteers that go to like every cleanup and help out. Anna, Sandra, and I can't remember his name. Adrian, that's it, Adrian. And there's a couple that come to a lot of them, and the dumpsters, it's almost about as full. There's a stroller and nice jacket. I think that's the last one. Yeah. So what was I going to say? Oh, a friend joined me about 9:45, and there were some sites that. Right, how do I stop? Where's my stop sharing thing? Oh, here we go. There were at least 3 places that were where like an encampment, a former encampment's dump, and the kids didn't. They want the kids to do those because there was dried up feces and stuff also there. But a friend and I tackled one where some women had lived because there were beads and sanitary napkin, new packages of them, and we found stuff like a whole unopened can of baked beans and another, I mean, just all kinds of stuff. The worst thing was artificial flowers, a whole, it's got like a mat of them that were falling apart. So all these little pieces of plastic that were all over. We also found a long piece, probably about 24 foot of tubing that has fallen apart, but pulled it out of my friend pulled it out of the river. So it was a successful cleanup. And Zoe asked if you want the participation form that they do just about Bull Creek or about the whole Great LA River cleanup. I think last year we just had them do the one about Bull Creek. Do you remember, Linda Gravani?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I actually don't remember seeing anything from last year.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she sent it. Well, since Bull Creek is what we supported, probably.
That'd be great.
So I forgot how long it was. What time was the start? Was like at 8 o'clock. I think you were gathering around, and then you ended at what time?
Well, the cleanup ended at 11. We officially started from 9 to 11 was the cleanup, and some of them got there at 7:30. I think I got there around a little after 8, and then we were done packing up by about 11:30, 11:45.
That was a lot of trash for a short time like that.
And there was probably a lot more that we didn't get. So.
And is most of that because of the homeless encampment?
Yes. Yeah, because the grocery carts and the clothes and I don't know if there was a mattress, but the Lime bike, the chair, you know, things like that, that it's not from people just throwing their candy wrappers or anything. Yeah, it's mostly, and there were 2 active encampments there that people, you know, just stayed away from. And there was also an area that Pat Bates taped off the caution tape because there's a bird, a Bell's vireo that was endangered, that was nesting to try and keep people out. But one couple went down below into the creek and came in from the other direction. They were walking up and I said, there's the tape where you're not supposed to be. And they're like, oh, we didn't see that. We came down from the river. It's like, whoa. But I guess they didn't used to worry, that FOLAR didn't used to pay attention to the birds and what they should not be disturbing. So they're doing better about that.
That's great.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a thankless job. It
Yeah,
really
thanks,
is, but
Ruth.
so thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I like being outside.
Yeah.
So should we order in the future more bandanas?
I think they're a good thing to hand out. They're inexpensive, right? And
Yeah,
most
because
people
I
seem
mean,
to
when
like
you're
them.
sweating and everything, or maybe you want to cover your nose and mouth when you're digging through some stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, we purchased it for the cats. I think it was more than a 5K. They were doing a run around the outside of the basin, and we bought it for a necktie or a bandana or something to put on the dog because there was a dog walk also. And maybe on your wrist because you're sweating or, you know, just something. So we thought there were several good uses, and unbeknownst to us, it was handy for the COVID.
Yeah, it may be good if we don't have any more. Good to restock it.
Oh,
Those
there's
bandanas.
still, so there's probably 150 left on the shore. I one bag. Yeah, there's still at least 125 left. I think there's more than that though. There's more in the box, right, Linda Schwerin?
I think we probably have about 150 left that we can use for future events.
Okay, that's good to know. And how many were ordered in the beginning? Was it 200 or more?
Oh, you
No.
know, excuse me. I think I'm on. Ruth, how many did you say were not used? 100.
125 is what I gave back to you.
Okay, then we have 125 left. We originally ordered 250, so
But
that's
you
about
didn't,
right.
you didn't give me all that was in the box, Linda. You still had some in the box.
Now I think I gave you about half.
No.
Okay, that's good to know.
But these are, I think, I agree. I think these are good for events. They might have been good for the 5K walk, run, stroll, but as Linda G mentioned, positioning may not have been advantageous for something like that. But we have some left for the future, and we have enough to start us off if we're able to do in-person events in the next fiscal year, which is coming up after July.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, definitely something to consider. Great. Okay. Any additional comments from the committee on the report, Ruth's report? Anyone from the public? Awesome. Well, thank you, Ruth, for the report. And I'm excited to attend sometime in the future. I think everyone was so super booked that day, but we definitely do look forward because I've done cleanups before with FOLAR and they're really amazing events. So look forward to them in the future. Great. So let's moving along to item number 6, report on the Neighbor Council's organized Moving the Park event at Louise Park on June 11th from Danica.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so must admit I'm completely unprepared for this. But anyway, the movie in the park was great. We had about 250 people there. And sorry, I'm in work mode. And I was really proud of the neighborhood because they left the park actually very, very clean. I only picked up 2 pieces of trash at the end of the night. So that really thrilled me to no end. And actually, pretty much everyone stayed until the end of the movie, which from the projection people, the company that provided the screen, audio, and projection, they said that a lot of times, half the crowd dissipates somewhere through the movie. And they were actually pleasantly surprised that everyone stayed through the end of the movie. So, I did, when I talked to the owner of Pro Outdoor Events, I did specify that I wanted 4 speakers, 1 in each corner, several times in my conversation with him and even with my scout the Wednesday before at Louise Park with him. And he said, yes, yes, yes. And of course, that didn't happen. I did talk to their point person, Garrett, that evening about it. And of course, he used the whole, oh, we've got so many events going on, so we had to, move our equipment around. I said, I know, but I specified. So I think it was kind of because I said to them that I'd be lucky to have, 100 people there. And so I think when I said that to the owner, Scott, he scaled down the audio on it, but they've promised that the next time they will have their fantastic sound system for us. Let's see what else. I mean, I sent out an email, many thanks to, the board members that did attend, Linda Gravani, Linda Schwering, Jasmine, Miguel for helping out. It was great.
Jim Stein, James Brown.
Jim Stein, James Brown, our t-shirt, all of our swag flew off the tables. So I do know, next time, because the event wasn't supposed to start until 7. So of course people see us, they start approaching. So next time, I think, roping off the area and maybe making an announcement and letting them know that we're setting up and we'll be, ready for them shortly. So it's not so chaotic, so to speak. And Viana was there with, I think she said 200 hot dogs, 150 or 200, and with CD6, and they all went real quick. We have more people than hot dogs and popcorn and cotton candy. and we had literally 200 bags of popcorn and cotton candy. And so that all went. I really think it was a successful event. I think it was great outreach for us. And we got some emails. And, so hopefully people know more about who we are and what we do. And Wendy Ramirez, who owns Ever After Bakery, she donated, I think it was about, oh gosh, it was 2 big boxes of cookies. They were the cutest Clifford cookies. I have it on my phone. I don't have it in my computer to show it to you guys, but I included it in the email. She donated them, so that was great. And let's see, Monica and Amanda with Rec and Parks, they were very helpful for me with any questions I had. They answered any question I had, and they were extremely helpful. So the next time around, to get out of the $150, it's no longer $125, it's $150 park permit now. To get out of that fee, all we need to do is put their logo on our postcards. So Film LA was great. They footed the bill for the screen projection. That was $1,500. That was really nice. I trying to think of what else. I think that's it. What about the Lindas? Do you have? Oh, there it is. There's the Clifford cookies. They were great. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else to say. I think it was good timing because it was end of the school year. People wanted to get out. It was geared towards the kids. We marketed to the elementary schools, which I think really benefited us. And everyone had a good time.
I agree. In years past, the schools were closed when we had our event. It was, I think, in July or August. So it was later in the year, so we couldn't promote it at the schools because I was giving out the opportunity tickets. And I would ask, and how did you hear about this? where did you hear about this? And these little eyes were looking up school, you know? So that was a huge draw. In addition, the sign at the park was very good because there were people that said, "Oh yeah, we live across the street or down the street over here on Louise." They saw the sign, so that was also very advantageous. If you could, Danica, would you write who you speak with or spoke with at the Rec and Park and their phone number and contacts? I'd like to have a file of all this information. Same thing with you, Ruth. If you could give us who actually it was, so we can have a file and just and maybe kind of expect certain things happening. The one thing I did recommend to Danica, we didn't realize that we were going to have such a crowd that we had all the handouts at the table at once. So the people that got there first got
Got every,
pens, got t-shirts, got fans, and the people that got there at the end maybe got some popcorn and maybe got a hot dog, but not really. So we need to divvy it up a little bit, maybe have the big t-shirts. And it was so cute because this is the first year we had the kids' t-shirts, which was really nice. And the parents wanted the kids' t-shirts. So we give out the t-shirts and then we give out the fans and then we give out the pens or then the hot dogs come or something of that nature as opposed to having it all out on the table.
Good feedback. We have three hands. I'll go first to Ruth, then Linda, and then Alina from one of the stakeholders. Ruth?
Oh, yes, Linda Gravani, I just wanted to say, I sent you an email about Zoe Witt's contact info, and I didn't deal with anybody at Rec and Parks. She was the one that dealt with them.
Okay, I'm kind of looking at, this happens every year. It happens twice a year. FOLAR is, phone number is, and that, so we would have it written as opposed to just in an email. Phone numbers and that kind of thing, if you can prepare that.
Oh, okay,
Because
like a
instead of
Word document?
reinventing the wheel, the same thing with the senior symposium, somebody gets an email. We don't know who that somebody is. And then we mention it at the meetings, and then we have an NPG, which gives us some specific information. But I would like it to be in a place that anybody can look at it, and that would be in the G Suite, which is now Workspace or something it's called, so that if I get hit by a bus, you just go in there and look and say, oh yeah, that's coming up next, or something of that nature, just so that we have some history.
A Google document then?
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you.
And then Linda.
Let me put my hand down. Okay, two things. One, I have some pictures, and I've had a hard time sharing, but I will try those in a second. And number two, just a comment with regard to our wonderful, lovely cookies and things that were donated to the movie. They were great. They were a hit, but I think that Lake Balboa should be cautioned with regard to promoting an outside company. We don't want it to be misconstrued in the future that we might be advertising for a private company at a public event. So that's my comment on that.
Thank you. Let me address
we're-
that. There was nothing that had the company's name on it. It was just donated.
Mhm.
There was,
Thanked
yes.
her, and we thanked her, just like everybody else.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
the only time the name was announced was this evening, so we knew who did it actually.
Oh, okay. I thought the pictures had been shared on the website. My mistake. Sorry. Okay. I am going to attempt here to give. Well, here it comes. Hold on. Here it comes. Here it comes. This is going to be from. I am going to share this with you. I do believe. Oh, all right. It's telling me I'm going to have a hard time doing this. Um, actually, I have a new computer and it is telling me that I may not be able to share. I doubt that you can see this.
The
Can you?
computer
Yeah.
really has nothing to do with the sharing.
No, I tried to do share and I don't think it went through. Am I correct?
Yeah, it didn't.
All right, well, we'll get rid of that and forget it. Okay. All right, then better luck next time. Okay, keep going.
Linda?
Alina, let us allow you to speak. Here you go, Alina.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Alina Stolirova. This is my first meeting. I'm very excited to hear about you guys. I live around, I'm actually like half a mile from Louise Park. So I'm really nearby. And so I am a daycare owner. I run the family daycare. So I'm really interested in all the events that's going on here in the area. And I have 2 kids of my own. And that would be really nice, for me to, because again, it's just my first time I've heard about this committee and I'm like so excited to jump in. So the question is, not the question, but what I really wanted to ask is maybe to do more advertising for events like this movie night that you were talking about. I missed it and I'm actually surprised why I missed it because again, I live just by Louise Park, but somehow it was just like a tiny little piece of like a little board with this information on. And so again, like I missed it. And for the next time, if you guys do something, I would really love to volunteer because again, I have kids of my own. I'm interested in helping out the community. So yeah, it would be something that, I wanted to try if you need, help in anything. I used to organize smaller events for, so that's this Russian speaking community that I have, like Russian speaking moms. So they have kids and they have nothing to do. So I kind of, got them together in my daycare, like on the weekends or would meet at a park. So yeah, it's something that, I love to do for the kids. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, more advertising. I don't know how you promoted this movie night because I'm listening about it now and I'm like so excited about all this cookies and popcorn and I'm like, oh gosh, I missed it. But I'm sure it's gonna be even much more fun and much better next time. So let me know if you need any help. And again, I'm so happy to join you here for the first time. Thank you.
Well, Lena, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it and your excitement to volunteer for future events. I think feel free to contact my emails on my screen under my face, michael@lakebubble.org. So feel free to contact me. We'll include you, but also sign up to get regular updates on Lake Balboa and neighbor councils. So if you sign up for that listserv, you'll get calendar invites of events, things that are happening around the community. So we ask you to sign up for that too. And if you stick around, kind of talking about outreach, item number 7, I'm kind of going to go over some like priorities or goals of what we want to do to accomplish on how can we outreach more to people like yourselves and the women and the men, the elderly folks, the Russian, families to get engaged as well too. So we thank you for attending, but I don't know if Danica wants to say anything else regarding her comments on the report.
But I do.
Okay, Linda.
For the events that we had, we were not prepared with the, it's not an iPad, but it's like an iPad. And that's because we really don't know how to use it. Ever since Kristen left, we've not had, well, we haven't had events, let's be candid, after 2 years. But I don't know how to use the iPad to sign people in. We had, I think, 4 or 5 pages from movie night, but most of them just put their name, their first name, and a telephone number. There was no email address, and the email is most important to us. Same thing with the task. We should have had one of those units available. Not that anybody signed up anyway, but it should, whenever we do an outreach, we should have those, we have 2 of them available so that you can type in your name and your email. It's readable and there's specific information that we need to capture. So I just want to make sure that that happens. The other thing is, in the past, well, actually, the last time we did movie night, we had local people who volunteered their times to do a mini concert before the movie, which is something just to think about. We have a lot of talented people that are in the movie industry or theater that would like to just show off their talents for the community. So maybe I should have waited for that for the next one.
Good ideas. And Lena, definitely, I think now that we're kind of getting out of the pandemic, you'll start seeing communities, neighbor councils, and other organizations out there more so, and you'll start seeing more outreach. So we look forward to more events in the community and having you volunteer and attend these events as well too. So thanks for your feedback. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. All right. So I guess unless there's any other comments about the movie, we can just move on to item number 7, which is discussion and possible action regarding outreach goals and priorities for the rest of 2022, 2023. Oh, Linda, before we go to item number 7, did you have a? Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Linda. Let me see. Oh. There you go.
All right, I thought I was unmuted. Okay. Did you just make the comment with regard to the rest of this year? You are talking about the new year, which starts in July, right?
Okay, so I guess fiscal year 2022, 2023.
Yes. Okay. Well, basic general, something that I personally would like to suggest that Lake Balboa has participated in the past would be to continue support for the 2023 Senior Symposium. And I don't know whether or not there will be a spring egg hunt due to COVID-19 the last 2 years, I believe, and someone else on the board might correct me if this is incorrect. Because of COVID, there was no spring event or egg hunt at the Balboa Park complex. However, in the past, Lake Balboa always had a presence there and supported the event by providing the entertainment. So I would suggest that if it's possible to support that event again, should it be viable in the year 2023. So that would be a thought. And my last suggestion or possibility would be to do another shredding event. We had a shredding event last year. I believe we had a number of people on our council who were instrumental in that, particularly Gary Kay. I know he did a lot of work on it. It was quite successful, even though it was done during COVID and outside. We had one done before. Last year, I think it cost about $800. And the previous one, which was pre-COVID, was probably, I don't know, maybe $500, $600.
Linda, what is, sorry to disrupt you, what does shredding mean?
It's a free document shredding event. We had started that in 2019. We had one at the election site when we were doing elections in 2019. We followed that up a year or so later with another one. And then last year we had one at, oh, somebody help me. I think it was Mulholland, at nearby Mulholland Middle School. And they were really well accepted. Oh, excuse me, we also had one at Louise Park. In any
Nice.
case, they were well accepted. The community seemed to enjoy it. And if we have a space to hold it where people can drive through, I think we would get a huge response, and it would be something that would be good outreach for the community.
Thanks, Linda. Those are really good ideas. So appreciate it. Before we move any further on additional comments from the committee, I do want to share my screen. I put together some kind of like a quick thoughts or ideas. Let's see if I can. Oops. Okay. I just put some outreach goals and priorities for fiscal year 2020. And the photos you see is actually from the senior symposium that Linda probably was trying to share. That some of us attended back in May. These are just some ideas I wanted to share with you and kind of get your feedback and opinions. This is just a starting list. The first one is I would like to see for the committee for outreach and for as me as a communications officer is administrative forms and procedures is to create, update the event forms. I know there's one already, but I think it's important that we create that an event form. So if we sponsor an event and you're the lead, you fill out the form of what your needs are for that actual event, so that we're ready and prepared for you for that special day. I also believe we should create, maybe it could be in the same form, a space for a social media forum. So you would, if you want to see a photo or some type of something on the Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, you would just come to me and say, hey, I'm interested in posting this. And then I would send you the form, which would include like what language do you want to see on that post, and the photos attached to it once you return it. So I think it's really great so that we can also document and have it on file of what was posted on our social media pages. Website updates. I had a chance, and we'll have it further discussion on the next item on the agenda. But one of the goals I would love to do is focus on the website, had a meeting with with Aaron to understand how the website works. He had some really good input, but with elections coming in next year, it'd be really great for us to focus on some areas that we can on the website, update it where necessary. Increase social media presence. I don't know if it's possible, but it would be great if Lake Balboa can do paid ads, and Linda will tell me yes or no, and if it's even possible. But really just promoting the Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council. I know sometimes paid ads are where we increase our footprint on our social media pages, and also it gets people to sign up for our e-blast. And so it shows people on pages showing like what they see our logos, and that gets an interest to them to attend our pages. Also on social media, I would love to do neighbor council member or community spotlights on there. I think it would be great for each one of us to be posted at one point on our Instagram or Facebook page, and a little story about ourselves or why we joined the neighborhood council, and for the rest of the community to see that. And so once they start seeing these posts on social media, they'll hopefully gain some more interest with the events that we do, sign up, etc. So we're telling the story about Lake Balboa as well too. Council events, of course, continuing to do them, but maybe I know Kristen did in the past some like pop-up events, these meet and greets, get to know your neighbor council members, maybe re-engaging that idea sometime in the next year as we're outside more of COVID, and we can do that. Maybe a potential business walk, where maybe some of the council members will want to walk and introduce themselves to some of businesses, targeted ones throughout the year if possible. A newsletter, I know that's something that was done in the past. I know it takes up a lot of work, but maybe we can tackle it and do it in this next year and just gathering the information of what we can put in that newsletter. And then finally, elections outreach. I know that there's that discussion about a general committee for it, and maybe the outreach committee or myself can support that election committee to do outreach. So these are just some ideas I have. I just want to share with all of you for this next year is what something I would love to focus on. And I'll stop sharing. So any comments or questions or general feedback? I see some hands raised in general about this item. So I'll start with Ruth and then Linda.
Thanks. Yes, when you talked about updating the events form, isn't that a form from Department of Neighborhood Empowerment that they have us use? I'm not sure, but I thought that we would need their approval to update their form, or is that one that we already have?
Linda, do you know if it's a city's
Okay,
event
so
form?
the event form is we want to have an event on this day at this time at this location. What I believe Michael is asking for is, okay, now that you want this event and you're in charge of it and it's been approved, how far out do you want a message to go out on nextdoor.com? Or do you want flyers? How far out do you need to do that? The idea behind it is Kristen was inundated with, okay, we need to post this right away. And with your own personal lives, it's very difficult to do that. So our goal is to have a schedule of, okay, 3 weeks out, we're going to do an e-blast. 2 weeks out, we're going to do blah, blah. 1 week out, we're going to do thus and so. And it should be planned out, kind of a rough draft when the issue comes to the full board and we vote, yes, we want to do this. Then the process starts with the city for approval, but the approval doesn't help us with the outreach of the event. And so we want to get our arms around the outreach, when stuff is going to happen. Do you have clipboards? Do you have the iPads? Do you have the banners? Who's got the pop-up? Who's going to get the pop-up? Who's going to be working? That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
you said it perfectly, Linda.
Gary Kay is the expert on do this so many weeks out and so many weeks out, and that. Wow.
Yeah, well, we haven't been doing that, so.
Yeah, so we want to start that process. And I agree, like sometimes we get busy, so it'd be good, like once we do get it approved, I can easily send it to you, Ruth, if you're the lead, the events form, and you can fill out for outreach purposes. So thanks.
So we're looking for suggestions, which I've requested in the past before. What is it that you need when you do an event? What is it that you're looking for? What have I forgotten? We've got 3 things on one weekend or one night. Okay, who's got the table? How am I going to get the table to Danica? That kind of stuff, because we're going in many different directions, and let's face it, we're volunteers for this. In order to make it work, we need to be better organized than we are for a day job, so that nothing really falls through the cracks. That okay, well, who's got their phone number? Where's their phone number? Well, I can't reach them right now. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Great.
So write down your ideas and send them to Michael.
Yes, that'd be great. Thanks. Linda S.
Okay, number 1, Michael, could you please email a copy of your suggested goals for this next year? I would really appreciate it.
Will do.
Yeah. And number 2, with regard to the items that you listed, I think they are all great things for us to work on. My only concern was with regard to the paid advertising, and that would be an issue, and that we can't take paid advertising, unfortunately. But aside from that, everything that we've discussed, I think is absolutely forward thinking and something that's got more consideration today than we've had in a while. And again, we've been inundated with a lot of extraordinary circumstances this last couple years. So, like everybody else, I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen with outreach in Lake Balboa. And I'll look forward to getting your info.
Thanks, Linda. Appreciate it. Linda G.
Ruth
Oh,
is
Ruth.
first.
Ruth. Sorry, Ruth.
Oh, no worries. I just wanted to mention that I was disappointed that we didn't order the hats. Maybe we didn't have enough funds by the time we ordered all the other things, but I think hats would be a great outreach item. That's it. Thank you.
We ordered the baseball caps, didn't we? Is that what you mean?
No, we did not.
We didn't order the baseball caps?
We had a potential estimate, I believe, at the end of April or 1st of May. It wasn't confirmed, and because we were not able to get it on the agenda, there was no vote. So it's something
Okay.
that we'll have to consider in the new year.
Okay, so it's still up for discussion, Ruth, and just need to get
Right,
approval.
right.
So, but thanks for pointing out. Good point, Linda.
I just noticed that Stacy's hand was up. Maybe we'll call on Stacy.
Oh yes.
And then I'll go.
Let me unmute you. Oh wait, I think you can unmute yourself. Okay.
Sorry, I got booted out and had to come back in. So my power to control it myself was revoked. So thank you.
Oh,
A couple of things. One, I love all of these ideas. Kudos to you and congratulations. And thank you for taking the helm of this committee. And so the two things, number one, I know this is random, but I know I personally have been wanting one of those whistle things. But I know that there are many people that, I think we had those at some point, did we not? Or am I imagining this? Like the CERT whistles, those little white ones or whatever color? Yes. So my CERT one fell apart, but because I know that there are a lot of people that walk through the community and we are like in the den of coyotes. And so I think that might be something that might be great for the community. And just to have our little logo on it might be a good thing. And the other thing that I wanted to clarify, because it seemed, if I was understanding you correctly, Michael, when you're talking about paid advertising, you are talking about us as Lake Balboa paying to advertise. And I think Linda was understanding it as us receiving paid advertising. So if you could clarify that for everyone, I think that would be helpful. Thank you.
no, thank you, Stacey. Yes, I meant for us to pay for neighbor council advertising. So I think it's like Facebook, it's like maybe $100 where neighbor council can pay for just to promote the neighbor council like logo, and then it directs people to sign up for neighbor council or learn more about your neighbor council. And so it targets it by zip code. And so you're kind of reaching folks that are in the late neighbor council boundaries. And so when they're on Facebook, they could see like whatever post you have, and they may be interested in signing up or whatever we design it. So yeah, it's not receiving advertisement. Thank you, Stacey. It's more like we advertising ourselves. But I think I would probably have to do more research first, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Those are sometimes like low-hanging fruit that aren't expensive, that sometimes social media offers that we can potentially utilize. And so I just put that out there as an idea, as I would love to do research on. And then Linda.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to mention that also. I think there was confusion because we definitely can. I do want to just let you know, Michael, since you're new on our board, that we cannot write contracts. We cannot sign a contract. Department of Neighborhood Empowerment signs the contracts if indeed they determine that it's okay. But we definitely can do outreach. paid advertising. We just have to clear it through Dun. And I do want to just mention, because the elections are coming up in 2023, I believe it's June 18 of 2023, that whenever we do an outreach, that we mention that there are elections coming up in 2023, and that currently we're looking for board members, because not everybody that's on the board now is going to be on the board after this term is up. And so I think we need to start recruiting people and getting more people involved in the election process itself. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I agree. And in regards to Stacy's comment on the whistles, I love it. Do we have whistles or not? Do we need to potentially
The whistles are emergency preparedness items, because if you're in a situation, it's really difficult to yell help a lot, but you can whistle and people will turn around to see the whistle. The difficulty
And they scare off coyotes.
Yeah, right. Scare the
Hopefully.
scare the
in theory.
demons. Yeah. And the difficulty is it has to be large enough to have our logo on it, because we cannot pass out anything that doesn't have our logo on it.
Yeah, okay. Well, is it worth looking into if there is a whistle that could potentially put a logo of neighbor council?
We did have one with a little light on it also.
Okay, I'll let Linda.
But we haven't ordered them in years, so we'll have to look it up.
That's the one I'm talking about, Linda. Yep.
Mhm.
Sounds good. Linda S.
Oh, yeah, it's the S, not the G. Don't confuse us, because I could get her into trouble. That's no good. I have to confirm that in May, at least I believe it was May, that the council approved the expenditure of funds for these whistles, and we call them key ring light whistles. Yes, Linda G is showing you one right now on the screen, and we have ordered them, and these were set aside for outreach at future events. So Stacy, I'm so happy.
I
that
need
you
one.
think this is a great idea, because the next time we have an event, hopefully we'll be able to share these whistles with our attendees. And that would be great. Thank you for mentioning it, because these whistles are not only great for emergency preparedness, but just in general for any kind of stakeholder preparedness.
I would love one, please. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Come to the next in-person meeting and you may get one.
In the year 2025.
Oh, please, let's hope not. My second thing, and then, yeah, Linda's got one there. I have one. I digress. I have one of these whistles that is attached to my house key, and the Lake Balboa logo is practically worn off, but I keep it with a house key. I keep it in my purse, and wherever I go, I've got it. And believe me, there is no emergency whistle, police whistle, swimming pool lifeguard whistle. This has got to be the best. We got a good thing going here, so let's hope we can use it again.
Yes. All
Number-
right.
I have one more comment to make, and that was with regard to our outreach for elections. And Linda G might be able to confirm this, that in August, Lake Balboa NC will be considering an election committee to be dedicated to the 2023 elections. And Miguel, I agree, this really needs to be coordinated, especially with outreach. So if we've got the elections committee, we've got outreach, and we can do like this. We can cross connect our efforts and get us double the results, I hope.
Exactly. Oh, how exciting. Well, I'm excited by these comments, these ideas. Please continue bringing them to me. Ruth, I know Gary hasn't spoken, or any other comments, please email me. I love this so far, so I'm excited. It won't all happen at once, but we have a whole year, so bear with me, but we'll work on it, so thanks. I want to also be respectful of people's time, so we can continue moving on, but at least we can start. Just want to show you some ideas for this year, and I like what people provided so far. Moving on to item number 8, discussion on possible action regarding the LBNC website. I don't know, Linda, did you want to start the discussion on this, G, first?
Well, Linda Schwerin and Ruth and I had several messages on our meetings in our work group. And Ruth looked at a webmaster that was willing to work with us, but we really didn't get any further than that. I know you and I had a meeting with Aaron and discussed some of the ideas that you have that you would like to see changed on the website. There might be an increase in cost due to the increase in domain names, etc. But really, Aaron's not looking to increase very much. He also said that maybe when we want to do some outreach specific information like movie in the park, that we tag it onto his once a month calendar event so that we're not inundating people with all these different messages. Because it's annoying, actually.
Yeah, I would say I agree. I would prefer, someone coming in as outreach committee chair and then communications officer to continue to work with Aaron. I think there is potential, and I'm willing to be that middle person to kind of, if there are council members that have questions or comments or want changes or updates, we can work together on it and make potential changes where need be. Like I did mention to him, like, people have a bunch of photos from events. Can we do a carousel on the main page of like photos that are going on? And he said, yeah, absolutely. We can figure out something of that nature. So he is open to it. And I think we just need to be, I'm willing to be that partner with him and work with all of you on it as well. I think when when the elections come and where we're at, especially with the election cycle coming up, starting a new web person at this point, it would take so much time. I worked on websites as well, even just with my agency that I work for on my day job. It takes so long, and I would say, at least that's my thoughts, as well.
I agree.
And I know that Aaron has sometimes been difficult to reach. We discussed that and said there are some expectations that we have. And it was unfortunate that he missed the agenda. He was moving, but that's no excuse. But that's what happened. He was moving his family from Colorado to Arizona, and that fell through the cracks. Well, I could also blame myself because he always sends a message back for the neighborhood council saying posted. Well, I didn't receive that message back, but I'm not looking for it because he's always sent it. So he's also given Michael access to the website so that Aaron, if he doesn't post something, Michael can. So I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. We asked for a second person because it's true. If like Ruth were to email me or Gary and be like, hey, it's not showing up on the website, and Aaron hadn't done it, at least I can go in there and post it right away. So I think that's great that he's giving us that access so that we can have, in case those situations come up. Linda.
One other thing, before I forget, and I think I've just forgotten. So go on to Linda S.
Linda S.
Okay, from Linda to Linda. All right. My comment or my question, actually, I don't need to put my hand down right now. With regard to outreach and posting to Aaron on our website, I believe that Linda G had I believe that she had sent out notice some time ago with regard to who would have access to posting on our website. And in order to keep this from being confusing or from having our webmaster being inundated, that it should be from the committee chairs of Lake Balboa NC. And if anyone on the council has something that they would like posted on our website, that they should be sending those requests to the appropriate committee chair in order to have that accomplished. Am I right, Linda G?
Actually, we discussed that with Aaron, and as communications officer, by the bylaws, Michael is responsible for the website, period. So having said that, all roads lead to Rome, in my opinion. So Michael is the one person that will be discussing any updates with Aaron. So if there is something coming up, we should have it on that schedule paper so that we don't inundate anybody, and that can be done months in advance. On this date, we're going to do this, and that's going to be at that time. And it can be all plugged in when Michael has some time. And then it automatically hits when it's supposed to hit. And that's the goal, so that, 6 people aren't contacting Michael when he's ready to go on an airplane to New York. It's just not fair. And everyone thinks, okay, well, I have time now, so I'm going to send it to Michael. Well, Michael may not have time. And again, we're all volunteers, and we're all trying to juggle our personal lives and our businesses, etc. So we're just trying to get a little more organized.
But I think with part of her question, I think was committee chairs still have to contact Aaron directly to post on the website, as well as the NC at support.
Oh, that's right.
That's the
The
only thing.
agenda, nothing changes with the agenda. The agenda is definitely the same.
Yeah, but anything else, like if there's any edits to the website or photos or anything that needs to be added in that sense, you would contact me directly and I'll contact Aaron.
Okay, thank you, Michael. That you're right. That is what I was referring to. Posting of agendas and that kind of thing would come directly from committee chairs to Aaron at the website. Anything other than that would go directly to you as outreach and communications officer, right?
Yes.
Very good.
And
Thank you.
again, the reason behind that is the committee chairs are the ones that write the agendas.
Right.
They
Okay.
know when it's ready, they know when it's ready to be posted, and they're responsible for it.
And this has been, I know that Linda G has made a statement regard something similar in the past, but Linda G, do you think it's worthwhile in the new year to sort of clarify and reiterate
Oh, absolutely.
new committee chairs? Good. I agree. Thanks.
I see Stacy's hand is raised.
Yeah, just a quick thing, just a point to ponder from what Linda G was mentioning about aggregating everything into one email. We're talking about that I'm having these same conversations around website with my national professional organization and about where's the balance between too many emails and then grouping it all together and people don't open it. So one thing that I just wanted to throw out there as a point to ponder is that if you do aggregate everything into one and people are they know that that's kind of the newsletter and they get desensitized to that, they may miss out on special events, because oftentimes what the deciding factor for whether someone clicks to open an email is that subject line. So if there was a subject line saying movie in the park this Friday night, that might drive more traffic than it being embedded. So it's just something to think about. And obviously there isn't a one size fits all. For some events, it makes sense to aggregate. For special events, it might still make sense to send a separate email. But I will let you know that I do not get a ton of emails. I hardly get anything from the council. I get like a few a year. And I try to stay, you guys know, I try to stay on top of things. I'm signed up for everything I know to be able to sign up for. and I still don't get a whole lot. So just from a stakeholder perspective, I do not feel like I'm being flooded with Lake Balboa Neighborhood Council emails. That's all. Thank you.
So Stacy, do you get a copy of the weekly calendar?
Not at all. Nope.
So have you signed up on the website, or how do you get whatever you
Yes.
get?
I've signed up there. I have signed up on the whatever the stuff is that gets me the downtown stuff, the from ITA
Okay,
ENSLA,
okay.
the ENS. So
Okay.
I've signed up in those places that I know if I'm missing something, please let me know and I'll be happy to do whatever.
Okay, so
I'll-
excuse me, Michael. So what Aaron was talking about is when he sends out those weekly email messages, that we would tag on to those. I believe that's what he said. In addition to that, since Kristen left and Jeremy is no longer communications officer and Annie is no longer communications officer, and I had to step in, I don't do social media. So that's going to be coming soon at a theater near you. Because that I think is what was lacking. And Kristen did an excellent job at this, saying that we're having our ice cream social at this school right now. So come, we're planting flowers at Louise Park. The little kids came with their shovels and rakes. And that was a day of, and it's happening right now. So those things will be more frequent.
But I think she's also saying emails, like the calendar she's not getting. I can check with
Yes, I don't get any of that stuff.
Aaron. I know I was on a list once, and then I think I unsubscribed to one of the items, and it knocked me off getting any updates for something I was trying to get updates on a regular basis. So I could check if did you, just out of curiosity, did you unsubscribe to anything on the neighborhood council at any time?
No, because I don't get anything, so I wouldn't think, oh, I should unsubscribe. Like
Okay.
every now and then, like every few months, I get an email from neighborhood council, and I can go back. I was actually just deleting tons of emails today, so I'll go and take a look and see, like in the last year, how many I actually got from the neighborhood council. But I certainly don't get anything weekly. So thank you for whatever updates.
Yeah,
may come.
Stacy. Yeah. Stacy, I don't have your email, but if you email me directly, happy to look into it.
Okay, thank you. We'll do.
Thanks.
And I'll just add something here, something that we have not taken advantage of. When people do sign up onto the website, we ask them what your interests are. And we've never narrowed that down. Like if somebody is really interested in EP and doesn't care about outreach and doesn't care about anything else that we do, they would like to get a specific message on what's happening with emergency preparedness. Or, you know, a lot of times I see everything is marked. Well, I don't think everybody's interested in everything, but Rec and Park is always a big one. Land use is huge. People want to see land use. So if we specifically send out emails referencing certain non-regular events. So if it's a regular meeting, you get that when you subscribe to the city or see it on the calendar. But if we're going to have like a Linda Pruitt event, or we're going to have a movie in the park, those things we could kind of spearhead towards people that have an interest in that.
And I see Stacy's hand raised.
Yeah, just to I think in response to that, so I'm my national professional organization, I'm on the governance committee, so we're dealing with that stuff too, where we're aggregating the information about what people's interests are and trying to get them plugged into volunteer positions. And so for that, Linda, what you were just mentioning, when people sign up with interest, I think maybe a great way to handle that would be in that email that you're mentioning, also include instructions on how to, with the link embedded, about how to sign up for the ENS agenda emails to be sent directly to them for those committee meetings. Just a thought.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stacy. Appreciate it. All right. Well, do we need to take any action? I don't think so in regarding the website, unless anyone. All right, perfect. Moving on, I think that was the last, well, the next agenda item is public comments. Is there any general public comments on anything that's not on the agenda that anyone wanted to bring up? And I see Stacy's hand is up. Stacy.
No, that's because Stacy just forgot to lower her hand for like the last 10 minutes. Sorry.
No
We just came
problem.
in from our walk and I'm washing doggy feet and participating. So I apologize.
No problem. Thanks. All right, seeing no comments from the public. Item number 10, board members and neighbor council block captains want to thank you all for the work that you do in the community and for attending my first outreach committee meeting and for the committee. So thank you so much. I always take feedback. I always want to have that open door policy where if you have any, ideas or how I can even improve this outreach committee, I'm always willing and I take criticism fine. So it only helps me improve and be better at what I do. So thank you. So let's end a meeting adjourned. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care all.
Meeting adjourned at 8:21 p.m. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
And Alina, send us an email.
Thank you all. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.